Hello, my name is Dr. Lance Morris. I'm a naturopathic physician, shaman, and energy healer. Thank you so much for watching this brief DVD segment. This is 8/24/2012, just a few days before the beginning of Burning Man. And this is a special message for all you burners, but also all Earth Dance participants. Every year, Burning Man is held in this month, and a month from now is Earth Dance. Earth Dance is the largest celebration around the planet of people grounded to the earth, singing and dancing. And this is the mantra that I share to all of you, that I encourage that we proliferate around the world. This is an important time. This is a paradigm shift. This is the change of a cycle. The Mayan calendar predicted this, and people today on our planet are confused. Some are frightened or scared. A lot of people are thinking or projecting negative outcomes, negative thoughts, and I encourage everyone to consider refraining from doing this because the future hasn't happened yet. But we are co-creators, and we have the capacity, using images that we hold in our mind's eye, coupled with strong emotional charge, to potentiate and or create the very things we fear the most. So this is a paradigm shift. We are moving from the current patriarchal dominant world system back into a matriarchal female dominant, or non-dominant should we say, system. We are starting to wake up, and we are waking up together. And what's happening is that the poles of our planet are in flux. They're actually switching as we speak. So right now, there is a field of North Pole energy on the South Pole, covering half of the South Pole, including half of the Antarctic Ocean, of North Pole magnetism. At the same time, all over the planet, it is fluxing. It's like one of the plasma balls, one of the Tesla plasma balls. You've all seen these. You know, they have the central core, and they go zzz, 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 out to the edges. So this is now happening all over our planet. So imagine this. If you take a coin and you spin it on a tabletop, as it settles down, it wobbles, first larger, and then faster and smaller, faster, smaller, faster, smaller, until it goes brrrr, right? It goes brrrr. So we are about to go broop. The broop is not going to induce a great planetary cataclysm. Anyone who thinks this is projecting it. It's going to settle down. We are actually having a decrease in the amplitude, that is the intensity of Earth changes, but we're having an increase in the frequency. And currently on the planet, there are 7.06 billion people. In 1350, there were about 300 million. Between 1350 and now, we have over 7 billion. This is not sustainable. In Burning Man, we understand first and foremost ecology. We understand the principle that an organism affects itself and all of the organisms within a closed system. The closed system is Gaia, planet Earth, our mother, a living consciousness. We are her children, and we are remembering. We are waking up. So nobody's finding anything new, discovering something new. We're remembering what we've always known. There is a Disney cartoon called The Road to El Dorado. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to check it out. This is a story of the Spanish conquistadors coming to the New World and causing havoc and destruction in the New World. And in the opening credits of the movie, it shows the planet Earth from a distance. And on the surface of the planet, all of these pyramids show up. Bum, 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 bum. Pyramids all over the planet. This is a fact. We know that the Great Pyramids in Egypt and in South America only represent a fraction, that the planet is covered with pyramids, much larger pyramids than those we've uncovered. But they're so old and covered that we're pursuing archaeologic digs all over the world, but they're all over the planet. We used to have the planetary matrix lit and functioning. When this matrix, when the grid is lit, then we have sent the message, the cohesive message. We are blinking, the light is on, and it travels through all of the physical universe from planet Earth into the physical dimension and all of the inner worlds at the same time. We had this turned on in the past. It's been shut off for a while, and we are about to turn it on and keep it on. This is 2012. This is the shift that's occurring. It's not about destruction. It's about awakening and change. Now, as this change occurs, because there are humans, too many of them, all over the planet, we are seeing an increase in destruction and devastation and death for humans. This is because the human population is out of control. We know as burners that this technologic life that we're living in the Western world is not sustainable, right? Leave no footprint. That is our motto in Burning Man, leave no footprint. We must remember our connection to the earth. So, you know, the developing nations, China, Africa, they want all the creature comforts we have in the West. They want the cars and the TVs and all the, you know, and air conditioning for everybody. It's not possible. If they try to accomplish this, then they are going to implode at a faster rate. Are they going to implode or not? Well, this is going to be a choice. This is free will. It's free will. So it has been said that many have been called, but few will be chosen. This is out of the foreword of my new book, The Edge and Beyond, a journey for personal self-discovery, awakening, and healing. So in the foreword, written by Dr. Gary Schwartz, one of the foremost physicians that University of Arizona here in Tucson, where I live, quotes me making this quote. It has been said that many have been called, but few will be chosen. But I hold the space that all have been called, and the time is now. Over the eons, we have approached critical mass, and a few have broken through into the Enlightenment, and the rest of us all fall back. And then we again approach critical mass. It's like a wave. There's a pulse. It goes out, it goes back. It goes out, it goes back. So 2012, we are approaching critical mass again. Now, we can do what we have always done. We can get there, and a few can pass through, and the rest of us fall back. If that's what happens, that's what happens. But I hold to all of you, and I encourage you to share my message, to share this posting. It's going to be on YouTube. It's also going to be on my website, resonantsoundtherapy.com. And at Burning Man this year, we're passing out lanyards that say resonantsoundtherapy.com and that say Burning Man and Earth Dance, and have my clinic logo, which reflects the beginning of the Mobius. So the Mobius is a figure eight that is twisted in 3 dimensions. It is the infinity symbol. It is the infinity symbol, and it's the beginning of the double helix. This is the way the energy flows, the chi, through kidney 1 in the bottom of our feet, through all the meridians and chakras, and then from the inside out and the outside in. It's a double helix. And we're waking up to this energy. Those of us that have discovered electronic music, techno, the rave culture, and electronic music throughout the world, Burning Man and Earth Dance, we have discovered the double helix. We spontaneously are driven and drawn to dance within the spiral because it connects us to the earth, it connects us to the energy, it wakes us up. And we use glow sticks or fire to magnify the intensity, and we dance together in the morphic field. So my mantra is join us, grounded to the earth, singing and dancing. This is the way we will induce critical mass. Burning Man every year lights the fuse, and Earth Dance a month later is the ignition that blinks, that lights the planetary matrix. So in the road to El Dorado, all these pyramids all over the planet, and out of the top of the pyramids, beams of golden light into the stratosphere, and as they go all in the stratosphere, it goes bring, and it lights the matrix. It lights it. So we have been blinking this matrix for the last few years with Burning Man and Earth Dance. For the last few years, we've been blinking it, sending the signal to outer and inner space. Outer and inner space. Light beam cohesion. When we take light particles coming from, let's say, Alpha Centauri, the nearest planet, the nearest star, coming to us 4.5 light years away, as the first quanta, the first particle of light hits the planet, now there's another particle right behind it, and another one, and another one, and another one. So there's now a particle leaving Alpha Centauri at the same time that a particle has arrived on the Earth. This property induces a phenomenon called light beam cohesion. The way that we travel through space-time in the outer worlds and the inner worlds is a function of consciousness. It's not taking a metal capsule that we build on Earth with a rocket booster fuel system and try to put it through a wormhole. This is science fiction. Science fiction, it's delightful, but it's not real. We cannot create this. This would require, as physicists know, almost more power than the known universe. Light beam cohesion we already have. The ancients knew this. They used the pyramids to create the spiral counterclockwise from the earth, linking us into the heavens. The key, though, is sound, the logos. This is why the music is the most connected divine link that we have for waking up. And the current electronic music being played all over this planet is helping us induce the critical mass. The ancients knew this, and the pyramids were activated by using sound. We do not need pyramids anymore. All we need is our groups of people on the planet at Burning Man, Earth Dance, and individually, because we're all one. And as we wake up to the oneness, we can turn on the matrix. One of the greatest spiritual teachers of our time, Dr. Seuss, in his story, The Who, we are the who on our planet. We are calling out the cone that has to go through. We are here, we are here, we are here. But saying we are here is not it. But saying who or Hugh, it's H-U, Hugh. If we start singing this, entering into the beginning, one of the syllables of the ancient sound language that we all know and remember, if we start singing this together at Burning Man, Earth Dance, and other events, it will catalyze the 100th monkey, critical mass. And I hold the space All have been called, and the time is now. We can actually bring us all through. We don't have to have a few get through and then the rest fall back. But we can let it happen that way. It's fine. It's good to go. But join me and my fellow burners, Earth Dance, the tribes of the world. Join me. Check me out. My website, resonantsoundtherapy.com. I'm so delighted to talk to you and look forward to hearing from you and sharing more. May the blessings be. I love you all. Thank you again so much.